One of the big reasons he chose Dayton was because of what Coach Grant was able to do with Obi Toppin, who, you know, is not playing for the Knicks. So there's definitely a pathway for him that exists. One area that needs to grow is his leadership potential. I asked Coach Grant, hey, what kind of leader is he in the locker room? And Coach Grant looked at me and said, that's an area we're trying to develop. But he's young.
Quick pass down low, out of bounds off the hands of Drame. We'll go over to Dayton. Third turnover early in this one for LaSalle. Yeah, Holmes came into the day needing 21 points to be the first true sophomore for the Flyers to score 1,000. Has 2 already, so 19 more points. We'll keep that 1K tracker throughout the rest of the night. Good look, Kamara.
The big play. Clearly the front court is the best thing that Dayton has to offer right now. The ability for bigs to pass opens up so much more of the game for you.
Early 8-point lead for the Flyers, who have won 11 straight on senior night. And that's going the other way as well. Offensive foul on Fousseyni Drame.
What I'm seeing right now from LaSalle is just turnovers sloppy play. I mean, but so back to this. So DaRon Holmes, the reason why this is interesting, like I said, he ends up catching it. It seems like his preferred area is about 18 feet, as you mentioned, 15 to 18 feet off. For a guy like him, that allows him to do a couple things. One, face up, that allows him to get one-on-one away from the help, which is important when you're the leading scorer. But it also opens up the middle of the lane. Like you saw another dive from Kamara just now as soon as he catches the ball. You see Drame cheating. They don't want him to touch the ball. They want to get it out of his hands immediately and force someone else to score.
Kamara for three. Double-digit lead early on for the Flyers.
The issue for LaSalle is that Kamara has been hitting open shots, both from beyond the arc and in the paint.
Kamara second on the team with 14 points a game, leads the team with field goal percentage, actually second on the team, leads the A-10 in rebounding. He does it all. Drame, it's Hassan Drame for two. Second bucket of the game for LaSalle. They're giving Holmes that shot outside. Elects not to take it. Kamara, the hot hand.
Yeah, he dragged the foot. He dragged his foot. That's travel heading the other way. The important thing, like I said, when you're the leading scorer, see Hassan cheating over. Holmes dribbling, buying time. You see this a lot with the big guys in the NBA as well. I think one of the best is Jokic at this. You dribble. Luka's great too. You keep your eyes up. That shows a lot of basketball IQ by DaRon Holmes.
Well, you talk to people around the team too. We got a whistle on the court and a foul on Elvis. You talk about people around the team, and they say about DaRon Holmes, he really does have a high basketball IQ. I don't know if he gets as much credit for that. Of course, he leads all of college basketball in dunks, and so you see that on the highlight reel. But as a passer, as we just saw, and you mentioned Corey, but also on the defensive end and helping out. Long three is long for Drame, out of bounds. Will stay on this end, so LaSalle will get another crack at it.
But there are elements, and this is what I was mentioning to you, there are elements where don't make the game harder than it needs to be, you know, and I understand that you like certain spots, you feel comfortable there, but when you get older in your game, you end up taking what the game gives you, and that is just code for I'm comfortable in any scenario, in any spot.
Almost another turnover for LaSalle, as they have been sloppy with the basketball and not very stout on defense so far. Brickus over the arms of Kamara. Rebound to Elvis. You saw that stat. 4 straight halves where LaSalle has given up 40 or more points. That's not going to get it done, and it has not gotten it done for Fran Dunphy's squad. Elvis high off the glass and in.
They're going to need to bring in Josh Nickelberry soon, LaSalle does. He's kind of like instant offense for them, a bit of a microwave. Give you 18 or recently 28 points off the bench. He would really energize him, or Anwar Gill, who's not playing tonight, would energize the team right now.
We got a stoppage that'll be on the floor. So an early 11-point lead. Take another look at the redshirt sophomore guard out of Canada. Kobe Elvis, nice move, good touch, high off the glass. You know, a lot of guys, you know, Kobe Elvis was one of them. He comes out, missed some time with injury. 3 in the corner, Drame long. It's like off the arm of a explorer down low. Thought it might have gone off of Mustafa Amsil, who was checked into the game for Dayton. But Kobe Elvis missed about 12 games after suffering a knee injury versus BYU earlier this year. Brea has been injured a bit. That shot rolls in and out, tipped back in. R.J. Blakeney checked into the game, into the score sheet as well.
I mean, Dayton's been dealing with a lot of injuries, and that's required number 55, Mike. Oh, what a nice move by Jameer Brickus. So this is what you would do. Once you're in a scenario, Ahmed, where nothing's going, everything's slow as molasses, you have to attack the basket and try to do something offensively positive, which is attack the basket and go to the free throw line, or attack the basket and get layups. That's the only way to start getting it going.
Mike Shardup jumps in the game for Dayton. The freshman is checked in for the first time today. 9 to shoot. Blakeney with a whistle. Count the basket and a foul.
Very productive. Shoots that shot. So the shot selection has been mostly one-on-one basketball, resulting in really difficult shots. And there's nothing. It's like a whole lackluster performance. Where's the energy from LaSalle? There's a little bit of movement here. Rokas Josius has been playing very well for them. Maybe he brings that energy. Nickelberry's in the game. Maybe he brings it. I don't know where it's going to come from.
Brantley nowhere to go. Does get rid of it. Josh Nickelberry has checked into the game off the bench. The senior guard started the first 18 games of the season and has come off the bench for the next 11. Rokas Josius as well, and we have a shot clock violation, so it's very difficult for LaSalle both on the offensive and defensive end, because now they got to play defense, a place where Dayton has made 7 of their last 8 shots. So Fran Dunphy, that is a look of a coach that's not too pleased with the start that he's seeing from his club so far.
It's been a very difficult start, and I think the adjustments that Coach Dunphy and his staff have made defensively worked, right? I mean, they clogged up the middle of the paint and forced the guards to make plays. However, Blakeney made 2 shots, right? Elvis made shots. So now all the guards are making shots, and Kamara's shooting lights out from 3. It's not a very good concoction. 5
to shoot. Holmes gets it free down low by the basket, and it is Josius with the rejection. Quickly the other way. Josh Nickelberry open 3 long. Rebound goes out of bounds. Will stay at this end, so another chance for LaSalle. That's a positive development if you are the Explorers, if you can figure out a way to get Josius involved defensively down low on Holmes.
Incredibly stalwart defensive effort there by Holmes. It's not an easy one-on-one by Josius. Not an easy one-on-one matchup. He held his ground, blocked the shot. Defense generally turns into offense. This is the first break we've seen from LaSalle all day.
Got a matchup zone by Dayton. Long 3 is long itself. So Dayton now a chance to add to that 13-point lead. Blakeney. Down to Holmes once again. See if Josius can do it again. No. Holmes too quick that time.
When you're big and you do a quick move, it's nearly impossible to guard. Your only option is to foul. And Josius almost fouled him there. Got away with that.
4 points for Holmes. Good cut there by Khalil Brantley for an easy bucket. So LaSalle gets that 2 right back. Smith up top, resets. Oh, good look to Holmes. Rejected again, though, down low. Sharham jumps for 3. Got the shooter's touch.
Josius is playing very well against Holmes. And like I said, these are tough contests. The issue is you can't give a team like Dayton a second chance.
Another 3. Got it. Khalil Brantley trying to keep LaSalle close here. Midway through the first half.
That's what we call a heat check, Ahmed. He had a really nice backdoor cut, wide open layup. You saw Dayton's defense get sucked up. And then this one, a contested 3 that's deep. He's kind of feeling it. LaSalle's going to go back to them often.
Josius again against Holmes. Triple team down low. Holmes gets it out. Sharham jumps. Rims out. Rebound. Hard rebound from Khalil Brantley. Really does it all for LaSalle. Leads them in minutes, steals, assists, second in rebounds, and then can make that.
See, he's feeling it. That's why I said it's a heat check. You knew as soon as he got that ball, he was going to shoot it. So this is the first blip of life. The first, if this was a radar, we finally saw life at LaSalle's bench and LaSalle's half court. I mean, there's finally something, and it happened when they went to their bench. This is the issue with LaSalle. The spark comes from the bench, not the starters.
6-0 run for the Explorers, thanks to Khalil Brantley. Holmes again, 3 to shoot, out to Sharham jumps again, just like the last possession. And just like the last possession, that one rims out. A save attempt by Seal goes to Rokas Josius, and LaSalle a chance to try to get it to single digits now.
3 exact same plays. Nice move by Sharham jumps.
Steal, Holmes, throw down.
That's one way to turn momentum back in your favor and stop a little bit of what could have been a dangerous run for LaSalle. Now the crowd's back involved.
6 turnovers now for LaSalle. Long three. Nickelberry, no.
Prior to that fast break, that steal, the first real turnover that Dayton forced, 3 blocks by Josius.
Malachi Smith, that time, his shot was altered. We have a charge, so we'll go right back to the other. The champion is crowned eventually on Sunday, but still, you don't want to have to win 5 straight games.
Not ideal.
To win it all. I don't know. I think this could be a year. I mean, obviously, VCU has looked very strong. Dayton, too. But a team like George Washington or someone else could get hot, make a run. If there's going to be a year, George Mason as well just beat Dayton. Mustafa Amsil gets in good position down low. Tough to stop that.
Yeah, right now, it's interesting. Everything's working for Dayton. You know, there was a time when it seemed like it was going to be a little bit of a slog there when it was 3 of the exact same possessions where Deron Holmes got stuffed inside, the defense collapsed, and he found Chardom Jumps for 3, 1 connected. These backdoor cuts are working for LaSalle. It's just they have to connect. That's the second time I've seen them not connect that's forced a turnover.
Yeah, that pass off the hands of the redshirt freshman, Andreas Marrero for LaSalle, who has checked in. Holmes thought about it. Does have 5 made 3-pointers on the season. Malachi Smith from downtown. That one's short. Rokas Josius gets the rebound.
It's interesting that they went to Marrero. So he's a fascinating young man because he does have a lot of international experience. So, yes, freshman, but he plays with a lot of poise.
Yeah, from Venezuela. Some FIBA experience. That's Deshaun Shepard, who's also checked into the game. A whistle and a foul. Shepard, a very athletic guard for Fran Dunphy's team. Last game matched a career high with 14 points versus GW. 5th time this season he scored in double figures. Take another look at the foul. Got Amsil on that. His first. 58% free throw shooter this year for Shepard, makes the first.
It's an interesting move, too, for LaSalle because at first we saw about 9 minutes, 8.5 minutes of absolutely no subs, right? And that lead, that deficit, just kind of grew and grew and grew. They brought in Josius. That defense, he played incredible defense. And another chance, potentially, yes, another possession by Marrero. Their bench has provided so much life for them. It looks as though they're actually playing with heart now. There was no energy before.
Trying to turn up the pressure. Josius, left hand off the glass, and no, but Brantley is down low. Marrero with a chance. That one's short. Shepard, another chance. Nickelberry, finally for 3.
That type of tenacity, we just didn't see. We didn't see some people running for loose balls like that, giving their team another 2 or 3 chances to score. So that's what I'm saying. And I think that the substitutions actually ignited Brantley, who's just been absolutely sensational since Josius came in the game.
Kobe Elvis, that one rejected. Another block for the freshman out of Lithuania, Rokas Josius.
I mean, so LaSalle, we understand their bench points are their asset. 26.6 points is a lot. I mean, and it's the team that scores a lot of points. It's kind of a misleading number, too, because Josh Nickelberry he's been like the leading scorer like 5 times recently coming off the bench. But still, we see why.
Malachi Smith had all day to set up and knock that one down. Yeah, part of those numbers for LaSalle explained by Mamadou Decore starting, but then not playing a ton of minutes after the initial few. And as you mentioned, Nickelberry. It's a 13-point lead. Shepard. Long 3 from the wing. Brantley, no. Holmes rebound. A little bit of pace from Dayton here. Kobe Elvis back in the game. In the corner, Smith found himself open again, but took a step before he threw that dribble to the floor.
This is my issue with Dayton. You know, I think they're potentially so good. I was talking to Coach Anthony Grant. You know, we had our coach meeting, and I said, Coach Grant, who is the highest basketball IQ player on your team? He said, hopefully all of them, which is code for no one. And I think when you look at the roster, only one is an upperclassman. There's only one junior on this team, and that's Kamara. And I think that's why you see these moments like this, stepping out of bounds when you had a wide open lane to the rim. We keep seeing issues like that from this young team. It's just inexperienced.
Holmes will take the three, just short, and Shepard skying for the rebound. That is something when you talk about Holmes and you discuss his NBA potential. One part of his game that he continues to work on and probably need to improve is everyone in the NBA can shoot that long-range shot, shoot the three. Hasn't taken a whole lot of them this year for Dayton.
But if you're really good at 10 and 12, you can have a long career in the NBA. You just give me 10 points, 12 rebounds, and you can play for a lot of years and make a lot of money.
Elvis to Kamara. Got a whistle. Gonna have a
two-time captain. You know, as far as leadership's concerned, he's the guy. The team kind of goes as he goes. And what I mean by that is he's kind of like the thermometer, or you know, when you have like a thermostat, I should say, probably. Yeah. You set the temperature for the team. You see when he leaves the game, there's kind of questions of like, okay, who's going to provide that for us? Where are we going? Who's taking us there? And when he comes back in, everything starts to settle, and Duran Holmes starts playing well, and everyone around him starts playing well. That's a mercurial quality.
Scored a career high earlier this year, 31 versus Loyola, and an 18 rebound game in November. So he has certainly popped in what could be his final home game of his Flyer career.
When you talk about the NBA, you know, and first of all, what an unbelievable chance it would be to play in the NBA, period, right? I mean, to be a professional basketball player is amazing. I think for someone like Kamara, understanding a role and excelling at that role is the key to having a long career, right? And is he going to be a prolific scorer? Probably not. But like I said, if you can give me 10 points, 10 rebounds, and he can do that very well, you're going to be a very valuable rotational player for a very long time. And that's an incredible accomplishment.
So I'm D'ing up on Brantley there. There's Brickus. Floater, too long. Jocius. Second chance for LaSalle. Too soft with the left hand.
I like these second chances. I think the story for LaSalle today has been close, but not close enough. It's not cutting it.
Three, Brea short. Jocius, another rebound. So now LaSalle has 8 defensive rebounds in the game, and they have 7 offensive rebounds.
But like I said, they're kind of throwing the game away, making plays like that. You know, it's just over and over and over again you see, is there going to be something beautiful coming? And it's just like abrupt halt every time. Stop, start, stop, start. It must be very frustrating. And this is a team that's used to scoring a lot of points, Ahmed. It doesn't mean that they can't go on a run. It's just right now it has not connected.
Nickelberry, well, that's a good start. Lead down to 13. Yeah, what you're talking about, the turnovers for LaSalle. They got 8 turnovers so far in this game. Dayton has 9 points off those turnovers. And the lead here is 13. It's been a big part of it. Holmes down low. Jocius once again up to the task.
They should have made that move way earlier.
Nickelberry again. Yes.
So I think the key to LaSalle, any type of productivity they've had today, has been Rokas Jocius. When he did not start the game and Mamadou Doucouré did, which I know they like to do, I think Doucouré stayed in a little too long. He was in it for the first 8.5 minutes. Nothing good was happening. As soon as Jocius comes in, Duran Holmes really struggled offensively.
Malachi Smith too long. So now LaSalle, a little bit of a run here. Dayton with no field goals in over 3 minutes now. Brantley step back. Oh, now they're heating up.
So you only take a shot like that if you feel it, if you're in rhythm. The behind the back step back. And now we see that timeout from Anthony. I just feel like the first half mostly was very lackluster heading into this final minute. You know, I love basketball, but now it feels like we have a real game. It feels like there's energy on both sides, and it could go either way. It had not felt that way all day long.
Under a minute to go. First half. Chart of jumps to Brea. For 3, short, rebound, Brantley. And a chance for LaSalle to take the last shot here.
Especially going into half with a little bit of a smaller deficit. 5 points potentially, 6 points. This is huge.
Brantley's got a team high 10 points. Nickelberry with 8. Dayton with so streaky, but they put together some wins, put together some good stretches. We'll see if they can cut into that 8-point lead. Final seconds of the first half. Brantley for 3 over the outstretched arms of Kamara. Josius, rebound, yes.
Who else? Who else but Rokas Josius? He has the 6 points this half. Dayton will lose. Yeah, it's really that simple.
It was looking very easy for Deron Holmes early on. Really everyone for the Dayton Flyers. They were shooting over 70%. They end the half shooting just 46%. And despite getting 8 turnovers, 9 points off those turnovers, a lot of things going their way, they just have a 6-point lead here to start the second half.
But once again, the turnovers were not because Dayton did anything special. It's because LaSalle, messed it up themselves.
Early on, Holmes active down low, gets the rebound and the foul. That's going to be on Hassan Drame. Early foul here in the second half. So Deron Holmes came into the game needing 21 points to become the first true sophomore in Dayton Flyers history to score 1,000. Looked like he might cruise to that. Corey, you mentioned it. The early 3 points. Ends the half with 6, 3 of 8 shooting. Yeah, it was Josius made life very difficult.
At first, Mamadou Decore was in the game. The game was very slow. I think when they changed and brought in, they took out Jameer Brickus, brought in Marrero, who made the game faster. Jokic played better against Deron Holmes. That changed everything. And now we see the exact same start that Dayton had. First possession, what they do? They set up a play. They ran a play for Deron Holmes to get him comfortable. He missed that bucket. And then to start this second half, what do? Run a play for him, get him comfortable.
Brickus, good look. Drame rejected.
It's interesting that LaSalle went back to largely their starting group, except for instead of Decore, Josius. I don't know if the Drame twins should be in the game right now.
Kamara, some contact down low, no whistle, loose ball. Brickus ending up with it. We'll see if they push. Drame back to Brickus. In the corner, Fusini, Drame, no.
The reason why I say that is because the Drame twins in the first half did not really make good decisions, and they were not making smart plays on the other end defensively. So when you have players off your bench playing well for long periods of time, let them run, let them play. They might create a bigger deficit for Dayton, a bigger lead, for Dayton.
Some contact down low as Kamara goes down.
So Kamara, to me, is the thermostat, and we saw this. It should have been an easy bucket. Who's there? Yes, Holmes is there, but Kamara's there too. Both have their hands on the ball. When he's feeling good, this Dayton team is even keel. And right now, I think that momentum's going to swing back in Dayton's favor.
Misses the first of 2. You saw Deron Holmes miss his first of 2 as well. Holmes struggled with free throws at the end of their last game. It was a loss against George Mason. Actually had their worst free throw shooting day. Holmes gets the tip in. So the missed free throw works out to their advantage. But it was a bad free throw shooting day last game for Dayton. Could come into a play again here today.
If LaSalle goes on another run, then yes, absolutely.
Brickus, Brantley, floater, no. Josius gets it. Contact, and he'll go to the line.
These are tough shots, Ahmed. These are tough shots. I mean, a runner from that angle is not a high percentage shot. You talk a lot about analytics in basketball. What kind of shots should you take? That is probably on the stay away from area of your board. Please don't go to that shot first. If you're a coach, you're like, oh, maybe not that one. It's just hard. I mean, to be drifting one way and to do a touch shot. But the second effort by Josius is once again why I think right now he's the most valuable player for this LaSalle team, because he's giving them second opportunities, and he's provided 3.7 rebounds, 3 blocks. I mean, he's touching every aspect of the game.
Although you take issue with the 3 blocks, you think you saw more.
I think I saw 5. I did.
I did too. So active on the defensive end. Good look down low. Brea short. And there's Josius again.
I'm surprised Kobe Bray. I mean, he's shot 3 times from 3, and that was a really brilliant cut. Josius was not looking there. He should have been looking. Bray was wide open, but just missed it. I'm surprised he hasn't been more active. He's a very impressive young player.
Good denial from Holmes. Almost another turnover. But it's Drame with 10 to shoot. Working on Kamara. Knocked it away. Have to hurry now. Brantley will take it upon himself. Step back. Long 2. Just off the rim. And another turnover trying to save it from out of bounds. Malachi Smith. Hard to the basket. Misses. Drame with a rebound. But we do have a foul.
Right now I'm seeing what we saw from Dayton in the first half. Disjointed. Disconnected. I mean, it's basically dribble until there's 4 or 5 seconds left. Then give the ball to Brantley and make him shoot a very difficult low percentage shot. You're not going to win that way.
Foul was on Holmes, his first of the game. No one with 3 in this contest so far for either team. Brantley, he had another whistle down low and another foul. So now perhaps the foul is going to rack up. That one goes on Kobe Elvis.
We saw this moment too in the first half, and I like how Brantley said, let's not wait 10 minutes to do this. There was a moment when Brantley did a heat check, and I remember I told you that, Ahmed. I said, okay, look, next time down the floor, he's just going to launch it, because that was a heat check. That's exactly what he did. He made the 3. This time, within the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game, he's trying to get himself into a rhythm. He's taking low percentage shots, yes. But like Coach Dunphy told us in our meeting, look, sometimes you got to trust the guy, and you don't necessarily rely on statistics too much or analytics too much. And Brantley's trying to get himself into a little bit of rhythm the second half early on, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. But I think that LaSalle's still making it too hard. They're too disjointed. Quite frankly, they need Nickelberry back in the game.
One-handed pass to Holmes, who will go to the line. So some fouls racking up early here in the second half. Holmes will get another crack at trying to make 2. Great one-handed dish here, bounce pass. Good look by Elvis.
See, this is what this. So we've seen this a couple times now, Ahmed. Josius is so locked in. He's a freshman, and I understand everyone out here is a freshman or a sophomore, a redshirt sophomore. I get it, but Josius was lingering. That's what allowed Kobe Bray to come underneath, and he wasn't even beneath the basket. He was like halfway up to the paint. Again, Josius looking down, looking at his man, not paying attention to what's around him. Once he gets his eyes up, you'll be able to stop those middle cuts. We saw that middle roll by Kamara and Holmes both times.
So long on the second, but Mustafa Amsil, who's checked into the game, gives Elvis a chance to knock down that wing 3. The lead is up to 10. And Elvis has 8. LaSalle looking for the answer. Brickus off the dribble. Got all the way to the basket. Tipped in by Josius.
I love the way Brickus attacked there. You got to be fearless and attack the big man, and Josius there to clean it up. You got to make layups.
You see that 9 rebounds for Josius. A new career high. Got basically a whole half to play. Kamara down low.
There are 3 eyes looking at Holmes, and that's the power of being a star like Deron Holmes. 3 eyeballs looking at him, so you forget about Kamara.
Brantley for 3. That one long. Drame. A whistle, and he'll go to the line. So physical.
It could be a pretty hard grind. It could be a pretty hard grind.
I mean, love of the game of basketball for a guy that just loves being around. Is 74 years old. Can still relate to the younger players as Fousseyni Drame misses the first of 2 there. He was telling us a story about Khalil Brantley, just sophomore, young kid. He goes, I sent him a song from the 1950s. It was Love is a Many Splendored Thing. And Khalil Brantley was like, yeah, send it to me. I was like, cool. I'm an old soul. Maybe I'll like it.
But he also has the humility, Coach Dunphy does, to learn from these guys. And we're talking, and it's just amazing. This guy has, 4 decades plus of experience playing basketball, coaching basketball, being around Tom Gola, Hall of Famers, and still he wants to learn from a 19-year-old kid from Mali, or like a 20-year-old kid from Argentina. It's amazing.
They're going to hit Kamara with that foul, so we'll go the other way. LaSalle a chance to get this into single digits. I listened to the song too. Love is a many splendored thing.
What'd you think?
That was okay. I don't think it's going to be on the top playlist for Khalil Brantley.
You never know.
You never know. 10-point game. The lead was as many as 16 in the first half for Dayton. It was down to 6 at the break.
And this is the same thing. I think LaSalle's digging themselves into a hole, and I hate to be very critical. We see Josh Nickelberry back in the game. Very good development. And Brantley there goes to the rim once again, trying to get into a rhythm. Fouled. He'll go to the foul line. Dayton's getting awfully close to the bonus.
Yeah, what are we seeing here? Because we saw the final seconds of the first half. Dayton still had fouls to give. They were giving them.
Yes, they did a quick foul to make a substitution with under 35 seconds left in the game. I think they were at 3 fouls at that point, 4 fouls. Now, early on, LaSalle is going after them, and I think it's a very wise move because, honestly, the way that Dayton plays, this game has flown by, Ahmed, flown by. It's like Premier League with the possessions, right? It's like how much time you're going to have with the ball. A way to slow down the game and make sure you get your buckets, free throws.
We'll see about stoppage time at the end of this one, how much extra time they tack on. That was Blakeney, had a little bit of a run at the basket, but lost it off his leg, and it's a turnover.
As I said, Nickelberry back in the game, huge for LaSalle. He has been an offensive fire engine for them recently, the past few games.
8 points off the bench for Nickelberry. This is Brickus, lost it. Rebound Brantley keeps it in, still got 5 to shoot. Nickelberry, some contact, Blakeney, and a turnover. Elvis will think about it, got some space.
Dangerous pass.
Ill-advised into Holmes, but it works out. Smith got it.
Mustafa Amsil has made 2 or 3 great hustle plays, making lemonade out of lemons. I mean, there was really nothing there. That should have been a turnover. Twice. And they walk away with the 3.
Not always how you plan it, but Dayton shot very well from 3-point range, now 7 of 14.
So this is what my issue with LaSalle. I understand.
Josiah strong over Holmes. Does that change your mind?
No, still. My thing with LaSalle is they waited till 11 minutes to get everyone, the bench, involved. They have 26.6 bench points, this season per game this season, and yet we're approaching this 11-minute mark. It was a 6-point game, as you mentioned, and they're still playing around. I mean, bring the bench in, bring Marrero in. I mean, why keep the Drame twins in? They're not playing that well. Why keep Brickus in? He hasn't been that productive for you. You're not going to win this game if you only give yourself 10 minutes.
Josiah for 3, shooters roll.
So many aspects. And it must be such a big confidence booster, to be a young freshman knowing that you can go toe-to-toe with the cream of the crop, at your position in the conference and largely in the NCAA. And some boards I saw that Deron Holmes was top 10 big men in the entire, realm of college basketball. That's a huge confidence booster for Rokas Josiah.
So a little bit of the full court press there for Fran Dunphy's side. Trying to amp up the pressure on the Flyers. 3 to shoot. Brea got it.
That's what I wanted to see from Kobe Brea. I remember watching him play last year. He's a redshirt sophomore. And I thought, wow. I mean, what fearlessness. Fearlessness. And shooters have a short memory. He's 0 for 3, and he lets that one fly as time expires and knocks nothing but net.
Brickus almost took an extra step there. Brantley, 10 to shoot. Brea trying to D up now. We do have a whistle going the other.
And Mike, Shrad of Jams. Excuse me.
Yeah, you saw the numbers there for Brea. Best 3-point shooting percentage on the team, one of the best in the league. Was the 6th man of the year last year in the A-10. Perhaps just heating up now with his first bucket. 9-point game. Just about 11 minutes to go here in the second half. Malachi working hard, trying to find some room. 2 to shoot. Amsil, yes. Using the full shot clock to their advantage.
It's interesting, Ahmed. Yes, the shot went in. And the last possession, yes, Kobe Brea did hit that three. What did I see, though? Not a lot of good offense, a lot of frustrated and thwarted plans until 4 seconds in a desperation shot. If LaSalle's playing that good a defense down the stretch and making shots like that on the other end, I think it's going to be a bit of a game. I really do. I don't think Dayton can keep making desperation shots with 3 seconds left on the shot clock consistently, Ahmed.
Nickelberry now with 11 points, 3 for 5 from long range. He has been the offensive spark for Fran Dunphy's side. Holmes, not a whole lot on the offensive end here over the last several minutes. See if that changes. Josius not able to stop that shot.
They're going to need that. Like I said, I offensively, it's just been not interesting. And what I mean by that is kind of been, let's pursue this angle. Nothing's there. Let's go out. They got to get Holmes involved earlier. And he has to be more aggressive.
10-point game. Brantley, nothing but net.
This is the danger with LaSalle. On paper, both these teams shoot the same from three-point percentage. You know, give or take 1/10 of a point or 2/10 of a point. But no one's really have their calculator out, right? What does that mean in practice? It means that Dayton got the threes earlier in the game, and now LaSalle's getting the threes. And this is a good time to get hot.
Amsiel, good quick move down low over Josius down there in Nickelberry. Yeah, LaSalle's up to 39% from deep. Dayton still at 50%, made 8 of their 16 from long range.
And briefly, Amsiel's been very good tonight. Very valuable minutes.
Amsiel a perfect 3 for 3 from the floor in his 6 points. That's Drame. And they're going to get Amsiel on the foul. Let's take a look at some of this sharp shooting here. Josh Nickelberry has been such a spark plug for LaSalle here tonight.
The interesting thing about LaSalle is you see Josius calling right there, Deron Holmes calling. In my opinion, that's a red herring. You know, Josius isn't scoring in one-on-one scenarios with his back to the basket, right? Basically, the only offensive production has been from Brantley or Nickelberry making things happen and Josius cleaning up around the edges. And if the shots keep going in, they're still going to stay in this game. And so far, it's been amazing how they keep.
Holmes got free.
Wow. We talked about it. Josius looking down, looking down, looking down. Deron Holmes wraps around and was wide open. They took advantage of that. They got the iPads on the bench. They can watch the game in real time.
All the technology they have now. Brickus off the mark, does not get the shooter's roll. Brea with the rebound. Holmes up to 14 points now, 7 away from 1,000 in his Dayton career. Maybe he gets 2 more here.
See, he's calling for it early, but there's that double team that I mentioned. Right when he gets hot, they throw a different look at him. Crash him quickly with a double team, force him to get rid of the ball. It results in a turnover.
Leads 11. Brantley to Nickelberry. Over Amsiel, long. Josius battling for the rebound, but it's Holmes coming away with it. Quickly to Brea. Spot up 3, yes.
Fearless, I'm telling you, the way he shoots, it's like he does not remember that he missed all those threes earlier in the first half. He can't recall. I do not recall those misses. I'm still a baller. And he just shoots with such fearlessness.
Just needed about 30 minutes to get going. And now an offensive. Everything so far. 1 rebound away from a double-double. You saw those 4 assists, tying a career high. So even though it's been difficult at times for him down low, Josius has made it that way. Still shooting 50% from the floor in this game. Not too far below his season average, Corey.
Yeah, but a lot of that has come the second half. I think he's kind of taken matters into his own hands. The first half, it looked like he was a little tentative at times.
Chance to add to that 14-point lead. Shardom jumps with the shot clock winding down, nothing but net. Dayton looking like they did early on in the first half now.
Now they're making threes, and we saw LaSalle kind of get back to, look, if you're going to live or die by the three-pointer, you got to play defense, right? I think LaSalle should get back to what we saw earlier in the first half, where we saw 3 or 4 fouls in rapid succession. They were 1 foul away from the bonus, which would have slowed down the game and made Dayton think twice. I think they attack the rim, get the game back in their favor before this gets out of hand.
Nickelberry, good hard take, drawing some contact. Sharp jumps. I don't believe he agrees with that call, Corey. And I think there are a few friends of his in the arena who are with him.
But this is exactly what I mean. Look, Nickelberry has shot 6 threes. He's shot 7 times today, 6 of them being threes. And at this moment, I think it's wise from the senior guard to attack the basket. You have this freshman on you. You know that I can probably, get him I can bait him into a foul.
His father right there has gone to every game, moved to Dayton. The family did at the beginning of the year. He was the first Asian Harlem Globetrotter. Sits across the bench so he can look right into the bench. Such a supportive family. And Sharp jumps has come over as a freshman, played significant minutes, and played him very well for Anthony Grant.
In multiple roles. Malachi Smith, you just saw him. He's been... there's his dad right there. When you think about the ability to learn from someone who's been there and done that, and this becomes more of a family dream. That's one thing I absolutely love about basketball is, your dad did it, then you get to kind of say, okay, well, you were a Harlem Globetrotter. I want to go be a Dayton Flyer. Maybe I can make the NBA and we can go on this journey together. That's the beautiful thing about the game. It's intergenerational. And there's, it's just something that's very beautiful about that.
Yeah, Sharp jumps. He asked Anthony Grant, how'd you know he was ready for these significant minutes this year? And he told us, he goes, I didn't know.
Yeah,
we had no choice. We had so many injuries. We had to throw the freshman out there, and he has handled those minutes very well.
Yeah, he didn't really say it like that. He said, I trust all my guys.
Putting words in his mouth?
But he said, I trust all my guys. But basically, you look at the roster, you had to put him in when Malachi Smith went down, and there have been injuries with Blakeney. So I think to be 6'9" and get that experience early on in these big games and still come out unscathed relatively, huge confidence booster.
Brea, now he's got that shot working. His 3rd 3 here in the last few minutes. Brantley trying to keep LaSalle in it. We're past dangerous territory now for LaSalle. And in a lot of ways, Corey, this looks like their last game against George Washington. They were close first half, and it was a stretch of about 9 minutes where GW just ran away with it, and Dayton looks like they're doing something very, very similar here.
Yeah, I don't understand the move by Coach Dunphy, the substitution moves. I mean, your 3 of your starters have not produced at all, and it was a close game at one point. And now it's completely out of the water. Dayton's guards are making shots. Why keep them in? I don't know what the locker room dynamic is. I don't know if that would, really sink someone's confidence, but I don't agree with the move.
Sharp jumps, no. Holmes gathers. And now he's got 16 in the game. And he is just 5 points away from 1,000.
An incredible accomplishment.
Brantley. Deshaun Shepard in the game. Rebound goes to Drame over Holmes. We got St. Louis. But I don't know. I feel like the tournament's wide open this year.
It's going to be very exciting. And I'll be watching a lot of games with you.
I'll be in studio for a couple long days. Fun days, though, too. And a lot of talk about this conference, is Dayton and VCU, have they done enough in the conference, outside of the conference? Amseal, yes. 2 more for Dayton. Have they done enough to earn an at-large bid if they don't win the A-10 tournament? I know a lot of people, a lot of the experts out there would say no. The A-10 this year is going to be a 1-bid league. So it'd be tough for any team to make it if they don't win this tournament coming up. Drame rejected. Malachi Smith aggressive, kicks out. Amseal, no. That would have been assist number 11 for Malachi quickly the other way, and Nickelberry for 2.
That was the first fast break I've seen LaSalle do, maybe all game. I mean, now I think about it. This second half has been, I think it's the story of the game where, LaSalle's let this get away from them. The second half, though, I will say Dayton has played better. The first half, LaSalle just didn't play well. Second half, Dayton really is making shots.
Shard of jumps. No. Amseal is there, but the ball eventually goes to Brantley. Yeah, for LaSalle, they've had some stretches this year, as you mentioned before. 5 wins in a row. Got some talent. Guards who can score, Brantley and Nickelberry.
I think the issue with LaSalle is just what's the right combination. Because remember, it is a very over the top teams like VCU and Fordham, like a Rhode Island, for instance, where you're like, okay, well, they play the top teams well, but they only have 4 wins. The tournament is going to be interesting. I think there's plenty of room for upsets. And I think there's plenty of room for a dark horse to maybe walk away and keep that trend going where the regular season champion, which probably is going to be VCU, will not be the tournament champion. I think it's very possible.
The way that Dayton has looked here today and much of this season, would not be surprised at all if they're the last team standing. Just have so many scores, including that guy right there, Mustafa Amseal.
He's having a very good night.
Amseal now with 10 points. Yeah, you got a well-rounded Dayton team with a superstar in Deron Holmes, team leader, two-time captain, and Tamani Kamara.
Still in the game, by the way. We saw Holmes go to the bench. But, I mean, they're up by 21 points, and you still see Malachi Smith. You still see starters out there, two-time captain Kamara out there. You still see Kobe Brea out there.
All right, so put on your prognostication cap. Your prognosticator cap. Whichever one, whatever hat you want to wear here, Corey. What do you think? Who's your favorite right now? Is it Dayton? Is it VCU? Is it someone else?
Like I said, I think VCU is the best team in the conference. However, I do think that they've had some close scares, and to me, there are chinks in the armor. I think I like Dayton a lot. We see moments where they are very special, and then we see moments where that youthful inexperience comes to bear in the forefront. And I'm afraid of that. I think when you talk about a whole tournament, a week long, that many games, with the dark horses I mentioned that are at the bottom or in the middle playing the top teams well, I think they can be beaten.
Brantley acrobatic down low. Amseal with another rebound. Brantley, though, still going hard. And he drew the foul. Credit to the sophomore guard and Khalil Brantley. Still playing hard here, final minutes.
I've been impressed by him. He did not start off very hot, but he was able to keep going, keep chugging away, and he ended up being very productive today. I mean, 17 points, 8 rebounds, I really like his dogged nature, how he just keeps going and keeps attacking you.
Another take to the basket here. No, denied, knocked out of bounds, will stay at this end. Yeah, not the most efficient day for Khalil Brantley. 5 of 14 from the floor. Did make half of his three-point attempts, 3 for 6 from beyond the arc. But you can tell, I mean, Fran Dunphy likes the way he plays. Sometimes wishes he would play a little more under control and be a little calm, cool, collected, kind of like Jameer Brickus.
There's the senior night ovation
as Kamara comes out.
In what could very well be his last game as a Dayton Flyer.
Participated in senior day activities earlier before the game, even though he does have another year of eligibility left. Yet to be seen if he will come back.
But to finish with 14 points and 5 rebounds, very, very good night. And once again, this game has been, I mean, it's been kind of befuddling, hasn't it? I mean, at times I'm like, okay, Dayton is way better. And then there are times where LaSalle comes back and you're like, okay, well, maybe LaSalle just kind of beat themselves. And then towards the second half, you realize, okay, this is how good Dayton can be. They can be dominant. But Dayton has not shown that they can be dominant for 40 minutes. They've shown they can be dominant for 10 minutes at a time here or there. But I think when they are very dominant, that man has a lot to do with it.
Final minute and 21 in the final regular season home game for Dayton. Full court press here for LaSalle. Just 53 points given up in this game. Best scoring defense in the A-10. It's funny, Corey. Dayton and VCU, both very strong defensive teams, both do things a little bit differently. Dayton able to play back in the half court. VCU, of course, with that havoc defense, full court press all the time, forcing turnovers. Not really Dayton's game, but it's fun to see two very good defensive teams do things a little differently, and we'll see that in the A-10 tournament coming up.
The key to any good team, and this holds true at the highest level of basketball as well, you got to be a good defensive team, right? You have to be a good defensive team. And for Dayton to kind of understand that, hey, we're young and we're led by our two front. Scoring is like step one. You're a great scorer. Congratulations. Step two is, okay, can you score when they game plan for you? He's done that consistently as a sophomore. Congratulations. Step three is, can you dish the ball and get other people involved, knowing that at any moment you can take over. First half, he had 6 points. Second half, he had 11. He took over, 10 in the second half. And he took over, and that's what great players do. So he's becoming more and more versatile, more and more of a great player, a complete player, and that's very exciting if you're his coach.
Shard of jumps with his third made three of the game. He's got 9 points. As the final seconds, Marrero, no. Both teams emptying the bench. And Dayton has done it. An emphatic statement in the second half.